Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are watching the Paris Fintech Forum Communities video interview series. I'm Elliott Gotkine, and today I'm joined by the founder and CEO of Swan, Nicolas Benady. Great to have you with us.
Well, hello, Elliott. Super happy to be here.
Lovely. Okay, so before we get cracking, we are going to learn a little bit more about Swan. So, Nicolas, you're an embedded banking fintech startup. What does that mean in practice?
Well, we empower software companies to embed banking features. You know, it can be accounts, and it can be IBANs, or it can be cards, so MasterCard cards with their own logo. And they can embed these banking features directly into their products under their own brand. So we're a licensed financial institution, and we provide basic banking features. But here's the twist. We are behind the scenes. So our teams and infrastructure handle all the complexity of banking. And so our partners, the softwares, can offer integrated banking experience that feel native to their app.
Okay, and I mean, look, on this channel, we, as you can imagine, we've had many a fintech founder and CEO from an embedded banking startup. How do you differ? What's your kind of unique offering compared with all the others that are out there? Or do you just do it better?
Well, first, we don't ask our agent to be, our partners to become agent in terms of, we take care most of the complexity ourselves. So if you work with us, for instance, you don't have to become a MasterCard client. We will do all of this complexity. You don't have to talk to the regulator as well. We manage all of this. So this is our biggest difference. And I believe also that we have a very good product. So we are passionate about what we are doing. And that's why I believe we've become probably the leader in the European Union. So what is very important for us as well is to offer a product for the whole European Union, and so to offer a localized product everywhere.
Okay, and can you give us you talked about being perhaps the biggest or the leading company in that space in Europe, in the European Union. Can you give us a sense of the scale and the success of the company, perhaps customers, revenues, growth?
Yeah, so we launched the company in 21 in terms of service. Now we have offices in 5 countries, so France, Germany, Netherlands, Italy, and Spain, and soon other countries. We process something like 20 billion euros every year, and so it's 1 billion euros of card payment every year as well. And we have something like 150 software that embed our services, again, all across Europe. But it's a good thing as well. We work with software, so in 16 different countries in Europe.
I noticed the UK wasn't among the countries that you mentioned, obviously not part of the European Union, but geographically at least, of course, part of Europe. Is that on the agenda, or is that just too complicated given the very different regulations, or is the competition just too tough there?
So everything you said is correct. So it's on the agenda, but it's complex. So because it's a new license, and yes, there is some competition in the UK. So we'll come to the UK. We don't have a date now.
Okay. Now, earlier this year, you raised, I think, an additional 42 million euros as part of your Series B funding round. What does that take the total raised to now, and what is the money for?
So we've raised up to now 100 million euros. And what we want to do with this money, so we really want to have more banking features. So we want to increase our product depth. So for instance, today with Swan, we can provide accounts, IBAN cards, and we want to provide some methods to accept payments. So for instance, if you're an SMB, I don't know, a bakery, you need a card machine, a POS terminal to accept payments, and we want to provide this kind of services. So this is the first thing. offer new banking services, and the second one is increase our geo expansion, so new countries to offer our service.
Okay, so we've heard about Swan. Let's now learn a little bit more about Nicolas. So, Nicolas, you founded Swan, but this isn't your first rodeo as far as founding a startup goes. What actually drives you to do these? Because having one, you'd think would be enough for somebody, but you've done this a few times.
Well, actually, yes, that's true. This is the fourth company I'm co-founding, and the three first one have been acquired, which is nice in a way. But this is not the goal of what I wanted to do. And I've never been CEO before. This is the first time I'm the CEO of the company. And what I learned is, when you start a company and when you want to sell it, you don't build a great company. And so that's why when we started Swan, we didn't have that in mind. We really want to be here for the long run. So, I see myself, my job, what I like to do in life is being an entrepreneur. And so that's what drives me. I like what I do. I love what I do. And so I hope I can do it as long as possible.
And how does it feel to be boss? Is that a better experience than just, I use that term advisedly, than just being a founder, or is it perhaps more stress than you realized?
That's a good question. I think I've always wanted to be the boss, but maybe I wasn't enough self-confident to do that until I was 45. And so, with Swan, I think it was the right time for me to really take the decisions I wanted to take. For example, I told you about being long-term, which is something very important for me. And this is the kind of thing you can do when you're the boss.
Okay, and I mean, I asked you what drove you in the first question on this section, but kind of tangential or slightly adjacent to driving, of course, is cycling. And I read that you're a bit of a biker. Is this just for fun, or can you be spotted, ascending Mont Ventoux or Alpe d'Huez weekends or in your downtime?
I'm quite serious about biking. So not like climbing mountains, this kind of thing, but riding fast in a pack. This is something I love. So unfortunately, I have a company to run and I have a family as well, so I can't take a weekend to go ride away. But what I love to do is go around Paris and with a big pack and ride, 40 kilometers per hour during 1 hour is something that I love to do in the weekend or even during the week sometime.
Oh, well, maybe you should just move the headquarters to Grenoble or something like that. But I mean, mountains also seem to appeal in another way. I read also somewhere that you were at one time snowboarding around the world. I'm not sure if that was literally kind of, traveling via snowboard or if this was just kind of taking in, mountains around the world. Is that another thing that kind of keeps you, grounded, I hope?
So this was a long time ago, actually. And it was more than 20 years ago. I loved snowboarding when I was younger. So yes, it was a trip around the world to do snowboarding. This is not something I would do anymore because I try to avoid flying as much as possible. So, and at Swan, for instance, we have now a low flight policy. But at the time, it was not such a big deal.
Okay, well, just finally, where was the best place?
Alaska. You can't beat Alaska. Wow. It's crazy.
All right, Nicolas. So look, a key part of this interview is to get your take on the future of finance. But first, we are going to take a very quick break, after which we are going to continue our conversation with the founder and CEO of Swan, Nicolas Benady. Welcome back, and don't forget, if you're not already a full member of our community, everything you need to join can be found at www.parisfintechforum.com. Okay, so now, Nicolas, let's talk about the future of finance. So, look, there's so much going on in the world. It's hard to know where to start. Whether it's the Middle East, Ukraine, even the US, all of these are kind of, at least geographically, quite far away from your headquarters in Paris. But I guess the first level effect on fintechs like yours is pretty minimal. But whether it's stock market volatility or tariffs, you presumably can't just, bury your head in the sand. So how can founders and CEOs stay focused on the job at hand while at the same time ensuring that they're as resilient as possible against anything and everything that is happening in the world or that might happen in the world?
Well, there is a world and there is things that move in our industry. And these are, unfortunately, sometimes two different things. And so things that happen in the world, of course, I'm concerned as a citizen, but not necessarily for Swan. And we have major shifts in our industry today. And so when I work for Swan, I really try to focus on these shifts.
So, I mean, I suppose to that end, Swan is not really concerned about black swans.
No, not really. No, this is something a bit different.
Okay.
We're the white swan, not the black one.
Right. Okay. The good one, or at least not the not the one that we weren't expecting. And I mean, is it fair to say that it's harder to be a bank right now, especially a cross-border bank, than perhaps a fintech that's focused on one kind of jurisdiction? One being the very big European Union.
There is some impact. For instance, of course, when Ukraine happened, we had to change our policy when it comes to onboarding new companies, or we had to check all the people and the companies we've had at Swan. But it's normal. Huh? We are a regulated financial institution, so we knew that we would have to do this kind of thing day one. For the rest, when it comes to tariffs, it doesn't impact us. We are very focused on the European market, and especially the European market for small and medium businesses that are impacted, of course, by the global economy. But I mean, we still do some payments, we still do some cards, we still open new accounts. And for us, fortunately for us, the impact is not that big.
And I suppose, perhaps paradoxically, because of a lot of the uncertainties about policy in the United States, there's been a lot of talk about kind of, Europe being now investors are much more interested in kind of European opportunities, whether it comes to investment or companies and the like. Is this kind of like a great opportunity for European fintechs now, for European startups, given that, that there are perhaps more concerns than in the past over the way things are going in the United States?
Oh, this is a good question. I don't see Europe becoming a safe place for investors in 25 better than the United States. So I haven't seen this trend. I think we still. The big thing that happened was 2021, where there was a bubble in our industry for sure, and we are still 4 years after this bubble. So I think we still see the impact of this bubble. It's still not over. And so that's why it's not easy to raise any money now for most of companies. But again, if you have a great company, it will always be easy to raise some money to meet some investors. So yes, there is still some money flowing into the best company in the world and in Europe as well.
And so, sorry, just on that point, I mean, raising funds this year, and I think, the first half of that fundraising was last year, that was just as not easy, but, challenging, or perhaps you found things to be not too dissimilar to the way they've been in previous years?
It was probably harder than the previous years, of course. But again, I think there's a big revolution in Europe today, because we see that SMBs, so small and medium businesses, they're really shifting from their banking habits. So they don't use legacy banks anymore, and they use more and more digital native banks to do their banking. And what they want is to mix accounting and banking to have the best experience. And this is happening right now. And the investors understood that. And that's why there's still, again, some money for the best company. We're not the only one. You could see that company like Penny Lane raised recently. You can see that Revolut, for instance, is going quite well. And so if you're in the hot space, if you're in the good, and if you're a good company, there is still some smart investors investing in the right companies.
And coincidentally, I think Penny Lane is one of your clients, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of our partners.
Okay. Partners. Sorry. Yes. And, we haven't even talked, we've been talking about a lot of the things going on in the world and also in the fintech space, but we haven't even talked yet about artificial intelligence and the opportunities and risks that it brings to the future of finance. What for you are the three best things and the three most concerning things that artificial intelligence promises for your industry?
Wow. Three. So it's so obvious what AI can bring to fintech. So first, especially with what we do. I mean, if you're a baker, if you have a restaurant, AI today doesn't have massive impact. But for companies like financial institutions, where there are so much processes that can be automated, it's a game changer. It's really something that will change everything. So we can automate so many processes with AI. Processes like, for instance, support or know your customer, KYCs. This will totally change the margins of our companies in the future. Other things, of course, is fight against fraud. So it's way easier to score transactions, and so it's really something that will be better for end customers at the end of the day, because they will see less fraud thanks to AI. And so these are the two very important things for us. And the downsides of AI for financial institution, honestly, it's hard to tell. So of course, we will have to adapt our workforce with this new tool. But exactly like what happened when banks became digitized, or when when internet arrived in 1995. So for me, this is the same kind of revolution that happens today with AI.
Right. I suppose just as AI helps you counteract fraud, AI also helps fraudsters kind of, find new ways, whether it's deep fakes or what have you, of trying to kind of circumvent all these new, mechanisms that are in place designed to improve safety and security. I'm just, we talked just a couple of questions ago about, raising money and whatnot. I mean, has the AI frenzy had an impact on fintech valuations and their ability to fundraise? Has it kind of, more money's been kind of chasing the AI stuff? So does that mean there's even less money for fintechs, or that's not something that the industry is finding right now?
That's a good question. So I think fintech is a less trendy topic than what it was 5 years ago, or in 2021, of course. But again, so if you work, I don't know, if you have a crypto, BNPL, NFT were a hot topic 5 years ago, and there were a lot of money in these startups. But again, I think that what we do, basic banking services for SMBs, and investors understand that there is a shift now, and that this is the right time to invest in this industry right now, in what we are doing. So we are lucky to be at the right place at the right moment.
You mentioned, I think, that you're a low-fly company, so you try to have fewer flights. Presumably, this is for environmental reasons. And I suppose with everything going on in the world, it seems almost quaint to talk about sustainable finance and kind of, having a positive impact on the world and on, local communities and the like. But I did read somewhere that one of your ambitions was to build a more ecologically responsible company. How does a fintech do that, given that so much of what you do, it's not like you're, chopping down forests traditionally or doing other things that are directly and obviously damaging to the environment. So how do you have more of a positive impact when you're dealing with software and finance and things that aren't necessarily physically tangible?
So Elliott, I'm not sure that I've ever said that we're trying to become an ecologically responsible bank. It's super ambitious to do this kind of thing. So first, the only thing we try to do at the moment at Swan is to be responsible as a group of 300 people. So try, I don't know, not to fly or really to fly as few as possible, and to do the right thing. So we try to avoid, for instance, when we do an offsite, everything is vegetarian, this kind of thing. But we don't do exactly. We are not perfect. We are far from perfect. We try to do the right things when we can, but we don't have the ambition to become the perfect bank tomorrow.
Look, it's time now for our round of rapid fire questions. Nicolas, are you ready?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I've got 90 seconds on the clock here. I'm going to get through as many of these as we can. Just one-word answers is all I'm after. And when the buzzer sounds, we will stop. So away we go. Okay. So what fintech segment has the biggest potential over the next 5 years?
SMB banking.
What is the biggest pain point in your everyday financial life that you'd like to see resolved?
Contactless payment with a smartphone. I think it's not okay yet.
Okay. Are bank bosses ready for the AI revolution?
Yes,
Are customers ready for the AI revolution?
definitely.
Do you think EU and US regulators have kept pace with all the new possibilities and behaviors we are seeing in the financial industry?
Don't know.
Have you ever personally invested in crypto?
Never.
Are physical points of sales part of the future of finance?
Yes.
Are bank branches part of the future of finance?
No.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 the highest, how would you rate the likelihood that in the next 10 years, one of the neobanks will be as profitable as a top-tier legacy bank? So that's out of 10.
10.
That CBDC, central bank digital currencies, will become a mainstream reality in the US or EU.
8.
That you'll be able to open a crypto account at a top-tier bank.
8.
That SWIFT will still be the main tool for transferring money around the world.
5.
That a new card or non-card-based rival will emerge to challenge Visa or MasterCard.
6.
Oh, well, we just heard the buzzer, Nicolas, so we are going to end things there. That's all we have time for the round of rapid-fire questions and for our conversation, sadly. So I just want to thank you, Nicolas Benady, founder and CEO of Swan, for joining me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elliott.
And for everyone watching, we will be back again next time with another big name from the world of finance and technology. We do hope you'll be able to join us again then. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the Paris Fintech Forum YouTube channel and to follow us on X at Paris Fin Forum. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye-bye.